Arson investigators looking into an early morning fire on the city's north side. One woman killed and her husband recovering from smoke inhalation. The latest from the scene.
Plus, a woman caught in a deadly situation trying to cross a drawbridge started rising while she was on it. So who's to blame? David Sears has this story in your morning headlines.
A local sibling rivalry taking to social media ends with raising thousands and thousands of dollars, all for a good cause. I'm Max Massey. I'm going to explain in just a bit.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 8th.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us. We have Stephen and Justin standing by to give us the very latest. Justin is outside. And for now, let's go ahead and take a look outside with live cams. Looking good out there. It
was cold this morning. And Justin, we can bring you your jacket if you'd like.
I'm okay, I think. You know, it's so beautiful out here. We had such beautiful weather the last couple of days. We thought we'd come outside to the KSAT garden. Why not? It was cold this morning. We did get down to 31 here in San Antonio. But right now, temperatures starting to warm up. We're seeing those numbers in the 40s here in San Antonio now, 43 degrees. Places in the hill country still in the 30s and down to the south a little bit warmer. Temperatures will warm up pretty quickly today. Let's take a look at the forecast. And by midday, we're going to be close to 60 this afternoon, near 68 degrees. Honestly, you can't beat that. This is about as good as weather gets around here. And we'll see temperatures in the 70s next couple of days, even towards the weekend before a front comes in and brings us a few changes, it looks like, on Saturday, maybe a couple rain chances too. We're going to talk much more about that coming up in just a bit. But for now, we're going to toss it back into the studio where it's a little bit warmer, to Stephen.
Yeah, definitely warmer here, Justin. I'm not complaining about it, but drivers have probably been complaining about this mess here off of 37, and oh, that was pretty cool. I didn't throw that in there. Well, that was really cool. Thank you. Shout out to our producer Dylan for that. Now I'm caught off guard here, but I do want to talk about this problem here off 37 at I-10 because it's caused a mess of problems for several hours now. First responders have been working to clear this scene up since 11 o'clock last night, according to the TxDOT website. Now we're seeing progress, but not a whole lot. As you can see right now, the map as we bring you to it, it's off of I-37 southbound at I-10 where traffic in the westbound lanes continues to build up because that's on the on-ramp again to the westbound lanes of I-10. Traffic moving, but just at 17 miles per hour. I did reach out to the San Antonio Police Department, so we'll wait to get information and bring that to you once it's available. But not the only problem. We have this crash here off 410 northbound at Rigsby Avenue. That looks like it's clearing out. Good news there. And as we take a jump up here to 35 southbound, FM 1103, there was a crash there causing some slowdowns, but now it looks like it's improving. Although there's still some red and yellow, it's a lot better than what we were seeing a lot earlier. So bringing you out to, as we push out of the map, where it looks like we are seeing some improvements, but crashes are still popping up here. We're going to continue to keep a close eye on things, but the big problem is bringing you back here to 35. Well, actually, we have to get rid of that graphic. It's going to be right there along 37 at I-10, where we have this mess that's been causing a mess for problems for drivers out there on 37. So we'll continue to watch that and give you those updates as they become available. Stephanie?
All right, Stephen, thank you for keeping us updated on your birthday. And we are still following late breaking news. Arson investigators are taking a close look at a north side home, trying to determine why it went up in flames. That fire killed a 67-year-old woman and left her husband with minor smoke inhalation.
It broke out just before 5 this morning on Mitre Street, not far from Loop 410 in Blanco. Katrina Weber has the story and tells us firefighters quickly realized the outcome would not be good.
Fire crews knew right away that they not only were battling a fire, but were also in a race against time. They knew there was a woman still inside this house in that back bedroom, and their goal was to get to her. The flames and smoke they found here had different plans. Fire crews had to knock down the fire in order to get to the woman. By then, the 67-year-old had died. Fire crews say her husband, who managed to escape, told them right away that she was still inside, bedridden and unable to get out on her own. They believe the fire started in that bedroom before 5 this morning, then spread throughout the house. The husband was taken to a hospital as a precaution after suffering some minor smoke inhalation. Firefighters had to cope with the news that despite their efforts, they couldn't save the woman or the home. One thing firefighters couldn't tell us right away was how this fire started. They called in arson investigators to try to find the cause. Reporting from the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And for now, let's look at today's 9 at 9. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will meet with French President Emmanuel Macron today to continue conversations on Ukraine. President Joe Biden met with Scholz yesterday afternoon, pledging a unified response to any Russian aggression towards Ukraine. Russia has some 100,000 troops near the Russia-Ukraine border, increasing fears of an imminent attack.
At least one person is dead after a shooting at a grocery store in Richland, Washington yesterday afternoon. After searching overnight, Richland police arrested the man they believe fired the deadly shots, Aaron Christopher Kelly. At least 2 schools in the area were put on lockdown. Police are still investigating Kelly's motive.
The Internal Revenue Service is halting a plan that would have required taxpayers to verify their identities with facial recognition before logging onto its website. It comes amid backlash from lawmakers and privacy groups. The technology has come under fire for privacy issues, other potential dangers, and has been shown to be less accurate when identifying people of color. The IRS says other authentication methods will be used in place of facial recognition.
National Archives released a statement regarding Donald Trump's presidential records, saying they've obtained 15 boxes of records from Mar-a-Lago that Trump took with him after he left the White House. Presidential Records Act requires all documents be transferred to the archives from the White House at the end of each administration.
California's statewide indoor mask mandate will end next week for everyone who is vaccinated. California was among the first states to require face coverings in public places, which has been in effect since June of 2020.
President Biden's science advisor, Dr. Eric Lander, has stepped down over workplace policy violations. A spokesperson says an internal investigation found credible evidence of bullying and other misconduct. Before resigning yesterday, Lander reportedly sent an email to staff apologizing for speaking to colleagues in a disrespectful or demeaning way.
Frontier Airlines has announced plans to buy Spirit Airlines for a reported nearly $3 billion. The deal would create the nation's 5th largest carrier, and according to the companies, the combined airline would be more competitive against its larger rivals and give travelers more options.
Samsung's newest devices will also feature a new material. The company is using plastic from recycled fishing nets. The new material will be revealed tomorrow when Samsung launches its new Galaxy devices. The United Nations says 640,000 tons of fishing nets are abandoned and discarded every year.
Nintendo's Switch video game consoles reached an impressive milestone. The product has surpassed the lifetime sales of the company's Wii console. The Switch has only been in the market for 5 years, but has made the company over $100 million. And that's today's 9 at 9.
And I believe that's 640 tons of fishing nets. My apologies there, correction. The Alzheimer's Association of San Antonio and South Texas chapter supports individuals living with dementia, their families, and their caregivers.
Max Massey joins us live from the chapters. Max, how has fundraising been through the pandemic?
Guys, well, take a look. In 2019, they were one of the top 10 programs around the country. The executive director tells me 2020 was difficult, but it was difficult for most philanthropies around the country and around San Antonio. 2021, though, they got back on track, a big sense of optimism. Now, one of the biggest fundraising efforts here locally is actually a sibling rivalry. So it's Matthew and Miguel, and it all started on social media. So one of the brothers actually posted that they didn't like beans. And so the other brother, as a form of civil rivalry, said, anyone who donates a certain amount of money, my brother will enter a bean. So we first told you about Matthew and Miguel back in 2019. Both have grandparents who battled Alzheimer's. And, well, guys, it sort of became a game to help raise awareness and raise money. So whoever loses the fundraising battle, they either have to eat beans or shave their beard.
So basically, it started in 2017. I made a silly post on Facebook stating whoever knew my grandmother knows that she's suffering from Alzheimer's disease, and whoever knows my brother knows he hates beans. So a $20 donation will purchase 1 bean for my brother to eat. And over that night, I raised a little over $300, and my brother was not happy the next morning.
Last year, total, they raised over $26,000 for the Alzheimer's Association, which is vital to us being able to provide care and support for those in our community living with dementia.
The brothers tell me that the goal is always just to raise awareness, and any money that comes on top of that is just icing on the cake. They want people to know that there are resources out there and that there are ways to help out people dealing with this here in our community. Now, guys, this is just the start. They tell me since the start of the challenge, they've raised more than $70,000. They have 2 big events coming up in the coming months. We're going to have that and so much more on how you can help out coming up on the news at noon. Mark, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Not bad. Thank you, Max.
Well, your morning headlines, gas prices on the rise again, and we'll look at one reason why, and death on a drawbridge.
And skating on thin ice in Northern California causes a death. And on a lighter note, it must be the winter of the frog. So David Sears is here to explain all of this morning.
Remember the sculpture we showed you yesterday of the frog out in the snow?
Yep, with the green food coloring or whatever it was. Mm-hmm.
Got another one today.
All right.
Okay.
Family of frogs. I'll have that for you in just a second. But first, we're all feeling it. Drove by the usual gas station to stop at yesterday. The price of a gallon of unleaded, that cheap kind, went from $2.99 to $3.09 overnight. If you drive, we know you're feeling it too. Matter of fact, everybody across the country is feeling it. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of gas nationwide is now $3.44 a gallon. Remember back in late 2020, we were paying, around $1.67 a gallon. Today, it's the tension with Russia concerning Ukraine that's being blamed for the increase.
Well, the geopolitical tension is fueling some concerns that Russia could react to potential Western sanctions by withholding crude oil from the already tight marketplace. And that's causing crude oil prices to rise even more. The big question is how long will these higher pump prices stick around? Right now, we don't see much relief in the near future. And if crude oil prices continue to rise, then the pump prices will likely follow.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that crude oil was just over $40 a barrel. Now it's above $90. Yesterday, President Joe Biden was meeting with the Chancellor of Germany. During a press conference, Biden said that if Russia invades Ukraine, that pipeline that will pump much needed natural gas from Russia to Germany will be no more. It will be shut down. That pipeline is called Nord Stream 2. It is still under construction, but nearing completion. Biden says stopping that pipeline completely will hurt the Russian economy. The problem, the German chancellor didn't really respond to Biden's threat since Germany needs that natural gas. All right, talk about an odd tragedy. A woman died instantly when she fell from a drawbridge as it was on the way up. It was happening in Florida. The woman was walking her bicycle on the bridge when the bridge started to go up, and as it started to rise, she was about 10 feet from the end. A passerby tried to help her, but she couldn't hold on and ended up falling 50 to 60 feet to her death. So now the investigation begins on how she got on the bridge despite all the warnings and if those warning mechanisms were actually working at the time.
There are crossing arms, there are warning signs, and there are safety procedures in place for the bridge tenders to follow with multiple steps and multiple layers of checking to make sure that there are no cars or people on the bridge when it goes up. So that's all part of the investigation, is to determine whether procedure was followed or whether this woman crossed while the bridge, after the signals were down.
Yeah, the departments that oversee the bridge have yet to have a comment. All right, let's take it to the pond in Truckee, California. That is north of Lake Tahoe, not far from the Nevada state line. Laura Kutzlowski was ice skating on the pond with some other folks. It's called wild ice skating. She says the ice started being funky. It gave away, and Laura and her friends went in. Laura happened to be wearing a life preserver and had several tools with her to help in situations like this, including an ice pick that helped her stay afloat on the slick, broken ice. First responders eventually got to the scene. One member of the group, a 72-year-old male, died in the frozen water. The ice measured 3 to 4 inches thick, and that should have been thick enough, but then the elements changed.
It's my thought that maybe it was called candlesticking, breaking apart underneath, and there was likely current. It was also a bit windy that day too. So I think a windy current underneath that candlesticking made for a perfect scenario of a large swath of ice like that breaking up simultaneously.
Yeah, Laura also had an ice screw with her. It's a tool that they drilled into the ice to see how thick it really is. All right, now let's get to the more pleasant stuff. Yesterday we showed you a guy from Indiana who did snow sculptures every year, did a frog. And this is Freddie Novosel Jr. He lives in Collinsville, Illinois. His snow sculpture is that of Miss Piggy and Kermit on their wedding day. Isn't that nice? He said it was a little harder to do this year because the snow was so powdery.
Good job, though.
So I guess it's the year of the frog. So,
Yeah.
oh, isn't that cute?
Aw, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Nice. Thank you, David. Right now it's 9:13, about 44 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
New technology making the impossible possible again. Paralyzed people getting the chance to walk again thanks to a tiny spinal implant. Details on how it works in our next half hour.
And if you're losing at reaching your health goals, we have tips that can help you become a champ simply by changing what you eat. It's been so long since I've been to the rodeo in person. Good memories. Good memories.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch mutton busting as well.
Including the mutton busting there. Justin Horn joins us now in the toasty warmth of our studio.
Feels better in here.
Yes, it does.
I should have brought my coat out there. I admit that. I fully admit that. Next time.
Okay.
Next time.
Deal.
Let's talk about February. It was a cold start to the month, so we haven't really got to talk about kind of where we stand on averages for the month of February. When we start the month, we have an average high of about 65, average low of 43. As we get towards the end of the month, you see those averages come up. We jump up to 70 for the average high. The average low is 48. Now, February, you get a wide range of temperatures. The coldest we've ever seen is 4 degrees back in 1889. The hottest, and I think a lot of people remember this one, 100 in 1996. So we can get just about everything in February. I can tell you this week, it's going to be smooth sailing. We're going to get some great weather all week long. There is the satellite picture, and well, there's just nothing there. There is nothing across the state of Texas at all. One reason for that, we have a lot of really stable air. So this orange and yellow color you see here on water vapor, and water vapor measures the amount of moisture in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. But when you have this kind of color there, that indicates we've got some very stable air moving over top of us, and that means sunny skies all day long. And that's what we're seeing right now. Temperature is 43 degrees. That's up from 31 this morning. We did get down to freezing briefly here in San Antonio. Dew point is at 31, and we have west-northwesterly winds at about 5 miles per hour. Still some 30s on the map, places like Canyon Lake, where it is 36, 33 in Comfort, 35 Kerrville, 34 in Bandera. And then as you transition south, you'll see more 40s on the map. 44 down there in Pleasanton, and even a 50 showing up now in Beeville. You're going to see these numbers turn the corner very quickly. Yesterday we experienced this. Warm afternoon, very chilly morning, and that is indicative of dry air, and that's exactly what we're going to see again today. Now, there is just enough wind out there, and I can attest to this. Feels like 40 degrees outside with that wind chill. 35 in Kerrville, 41 in Rock Springs, feels like 39 right now in New Braunfels, and the dew points are in the 30s. And as we look forward in time with these dew points, not much changes here. It does try to ramp up a little bit by Friday, and then Saturday we get a cold front. Now, there is just enough of a window there with just enough moisture that we could squeeze out a shower, but it's not going to be anything significant. It's going to be very light and quick passing shower, and it's not going to be widespread. So that is really the only kind of window for anything significant in the forecast. And when I say significant, anything at all in the forecast. Temperatures today up around 68 for a high, 60s for the most part around the area. And then by tonight, we see those temperatures fall back down into the 30s. I don't think we'll see a freeze here. I know we did get down to 31 this morning. I think it'll be a little bit warmer tomorrow morning, most everywhere. There could be a few spots in the hill country that do get down to freezing. So here's the extended forecast. We're going to go 70 Wednesday, 70 Thursday, 72 Friday. There is that weak front, 20% chance of a few showers. It does knock temperatures back down into the 60s, and it will be breezy on Saturday. Super Bowl Sunday looks good. Same for Valentine's Day, 66. with love in the air.
Yeah, you used a bunch of icons there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And we turned the heat up in here just a little for you. I know the AC
that.
was cranking.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. 9:20, about 45 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA at 9, tips on how you can eat like an Olympian.
As you know, the 2022 Winter Games are officially underway in Beijing. Team USA made up more than 220 athletes from across the country.
And experts say there is a lot we can learn from them when it comes to a healthy diet. KSAT producer Dylan Collins has more on how you can eat like an Olympian.
Going for the gold. Athletes now seeing action in Beijing, hoping their hard work leads to victory. But you can win too when it comes to healthy eating habits if you view your food as a fuel.
What this means is generally a diet rich in carbohydrates, which gives them the preferred fuel for their muscles and their brain when they exercise. And they want protein to help repair muscles and sometimes build muscle, and fats, which are important for vitamin absorption and just to feel full after meals.
Cleveland Clinic psychologist and registered dietitian David Creel says athletes choose specific foods that help them stay both mentally and physically healthy. He says we should all strive to eat like an Olympian. That means eating things like lean proteins, fresh produce, whole grains, and healthy fats like avocados or nuts. Creel says the timing of meals is also important. He suggests not skipping meals and eating in moderation. Another part of being healthy, making sure you stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, and give your body the rest it needs.
If someone doesn't sleep well, they get up late, they skip breakfast, they make poor choices throughout the day, or they may overeat late at night.
Creel says food plays a huge role in your health, and nourishing your body can help you succeed. Dylan Collins, KSAT 12.
Doctor also says sleep is very crucial. CDC recommending those over 18 get at least 7 hours a night. But on a side note, and we were just talking about this during this story, NewYorkPost.com is one of the outlets reporting yesterday that a number of Olympians at the Beijing Winter Games are complaining about the lack of food. As a matter of fact, the German alpine skiing coach criticized the catering in Beijing and raised concerns about limited food options to fuel the high-performing pro athletes. He said catering is extremely questionable because it's not really catering at all. There are no hot meals.
Hopefully they can get that worked out very soon.
Well, the Chinese Olympic officials said we are now in touch. We understand the concerns. We're going to talk to all the vendors and everybody involved and see if we can address this as soon as possible.
I would think that's pretty important, especially now, competition.
Well, and especially factoring in the story Dylan just did.
Exactly.
I mean, if it's fuel and you need extra fuel to compete on the world stage,
right,
you would think that they would have addressed that.
That's another
and maybe they will.
issue, yeah.
Yeah, we've still got a ways to go, but about a week and a half of the summer games, winter games to go. 9:26, 48 degrees, more ahead.
A teenager in the hospital this morning after a shooting at an IHOP overnight. Details on what police say sparked that shooting.
Details on a brand new tech helping paralyzed people walk again.
And as we head to break, a quick check of the roads with TransGuide. Looks like things are still kind of a mess there at I-37 and I-10. We'll be right back.
People want body cameras. They want the videos released.
Commissioners calling for a quick release and transparency with body camera videos.
But Bexar County's Sheriff Javier Salazar says he needs something to make that happen. Money. He's hoping commissioners agree when they vote on this today.
We have been following the back and forth deadlines put into place by commissioners and the pushback from the sheriff. Now, one commissioner is telling Arlie Waldman the increase is a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Additional funding to release body camera video after a critical incident within 10 days.
If we're able to get some of this technology on our side, some of these upgrades on our side, I'd like to get to the 10 days.
Sheriff Salazar asked for that on January 24th. He declined to speak with us today, wanting to hold comment until after the commissioners' meeting. The technology he's mentioning, upgraded body cameras and improved editing software to redact faces or license plates from videos that are released. Bexar County Commissioner Tommy Calvert says the additional funding isn't necessary.
When I looked at the contract, our contract already included an upgrade to the latest version of the Axon body camera.
And allows them to use, quote, lightning speed of the redaction technology displayed on Axon's website.
And so what they were really asking for at the Sheriff's Department were new tasers, They're asking for virtual training software.
In his letter, Calvert wrote, quote, the Bexar County Sheriff's Department is seeking Axon's OSP 7+ system, which includes new tasers, the Axon Body 3, Axon VR training, and auto transcribe, unquote. Sheriff Salazar did mention the need to upgrade their tasers on the 24th, but said Axon would offer a discount.
What we're doing is we're just looking to accelerate that replacement process and save ourselves some money in the process.
At their meeting tomorrow, county commissioners will decide whether or not to grant the sheriff's request. If so, instead of $6.3 million over 5 years for the current contract, it'll be increased to $9.4 million.
I think it'll probably pass, but I'm not sure that it's a wise decision I don't think, without the assurance that we're going to get it in 10 days.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
So that 10-day release after a critical incident has been a real sticking point. Sheriff says 30 days at this point is more feasible, and they can work it down to 10 days. Some other surrounding departments, like Austin Police, they release video after 10 days. Dallas Police Department says they're able to release video after just 72 hours.
And top stories we are following today: an early morning shooting at a Northwest Side IHOP sends a teen boy to the hospital.
Happened around 4 this morning at a restaurant on 10 near Vance Jackson. According to police, the 16-year-old was in an argument with a group at another table.
Witnesses say the argument moved outside, and the 16-year-old was heard telling the group to get away from him. That's when gunshots rang out, and the 16-year-old was hit twice in the backside. He was taken to the hospital, and he's doing okay.
So far, no arrests have been made. Officers say they later found an abandoned car not far from that IHOP. They're still trying to figure out if it was truly involved in this shooting incident.
And we're also following a shooting investigation on the east side of town.
San Antonio police say a man and teen boy were caught in the gunfire. Happened last night around 9 at an apartment complex in the 1300 block of Rigsby Avenue near I-10. Investigators tell us it started with a fight. Then the driver of a blue sedan pulled up to the scene.
We are told the man in the car started shooting, then took off, possibly with another person in that vehicle. You're asked to call San Antonio police if you have any information.
Outside with live cam. We got down to, what was our low this morning, Justin?
31.
31, all right, so 31, jump up to 48, not too bad.
Yeah, it's a big jump so far, and I think we're going to see some big jumps throughout the rest of the morning and into the afternoon. I want to start with sunrise. It was gorgeous this morning. You see the sunset right on the horizon there. We'll put the time lapse into motion. There it is, and that's where we set right now. Temperatures jumping up into the 40s at this hour, 43. West-northwesterly winds at about 5 miles per hour, but we're going to be in the 50s here very, very soon. 31 was the low this morning, as we mentioned. 27 Bernie Stage, 23 in Kerrville, 31 in New Braunfels. So most places did get down to freezing last night, with a few exceptions. The hill country certainly saw a freeze, but here in San Antonio, it was brief this morning, but we did get there. There's the big picture across the country, and there is quite a bit of rain across parts of Florida, but that is just about it, really, weather-wise. We're moving into a pretty quiet weather pattern, and that'll keep temperatures pretty comfortable the next couple days. You see the numbers across the country. Nothing really jumps off the page. This isn't terribly cold. So some pretty good February-like days ahead. 66 by 2 p.m., 68 your high temperature today. We'll see winds switch around to the southwest 5 to 10 by this afternoon. Steven's got an update for us. Let's head over there.
Hey, thanks, Justin. Yeah, we received an update from San Antonio police on this incident here off 37 at I-10. Let's take a closer look right now with the camera. As you can see that we still have first responders that are out there working to clear this up. Now, police do tell me that they actually arrived to this scene off I-37 southbound at I-10 eastbound overnight just before 10. Now, when officers did arrive, that's when they found that 18-wheeler had rolled over on its side, and that was carrying a load of cattle. Now, that driver, according to police, had minor injuries and was thankfully treated on the scene. He did tell police that the cattle had actually shifted to the right side as he was taking an exit, which caused him to lose control of that 18-wheeler. And as you can see, we are still seeing that mess being cleaned up right now. Officers do say that they waited for the owner of the company to arrive with another 18-wheeler to transfer that cattle on, but it has been a process that has taken several hours, and right now it's not clear how many of the cattle did survive. But as we can see, progress is happening. Let's take a look at the map right now, because you can see we still have that buildup holdup right there off I-37 southbound at I-10, where we see it more in the westbound lanes of I-10, but 17 miles per hour is where traffic is moving. Thankfully, we are seeing some progress. This has been a very long night for first responders that stretched into the early hours of the day. But as we jump out of the map, we're seeing a lot more of a better scenario here because more green on the screen, which means the commute is a lot more tranquil than what we had seen earlier in the day. But again, the big problem has been here off 37 at I-10. That information, we're still waiting to gather more as the day goes on. But thankfully, the driver does seem to be okay. It's just been a mess for other drivers trying to navigate through this situation, guys.
I'm glad we got the update. Stephen, thank you so much. We'll take a look at some local COVID numbers. There are nearly 1,500 new cases and 24 more deaths here in Bexar County. Local hospitals still feeling pressure as well. Nearly 1,000 people still in the hospital with COVID. 239 are in ICU. 107 are listed as being on ventilators.
And speaking of hospitals, nurses have endured their fair share of medical emergencies these last few years, especially during last year's freeze, and they have learned a lot. So we spoke with one of the head nurses from University Health who showed us this. Matthew Lozano says his staff slept on these cots for days and took turns sleeping because many didn't leave the hospital during the freeze. So they worked extra long hours and they fought to make sure dialysis and other vulnerable patients got the care they needed even when power was scarce.
Matthew also says his team implemented changes so they're better prepared next time there is a weather emergency.
We have mock drills throughout the year, and that helps us plan to go ahead and know how soon our staff can get here to be able to go ahead and plan how we need to be successful should another disaster occur.
University Health says it's also expanded its communication system.
New this morning, a new medical device appears to be able to help paralyzed people walk again.
Results are still preliminary, but they're so remarkable it could be a game changer.
CNN's Elizabeth Cohen shows us how it works.
No one ever thought Michael Rocati would be able to do this or this. In 2017, Rocati was paralyzed after a motorcycle accident.
I tried to move the legs, tried to change my position. I see that was impossible to do nothing. I fixed in my mind that was just a situation. So I put all my mind, my behavior to try to solve this problem. And I never stopped.
Now he can walk about a mile without assistance thanks to this device. It sends electrical impulses to his spine. He can control it through his computer. Scientists have been researching electrical stimulation as a treatment for paralysis for 3 decades. In 2014, I visited the University of Louisville, where I saw patients using similar technology. They were able to wiggle their toes and move their knees.
Whoa, there you go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And even stand up. And with months of assistance in rehab, some of them even began walking. The newest stimulator, this one from the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, can reach more of the spinal cord and allow people to regain movement on the same day that they receive the spinal implant.
This technology is so precise that immediately after the surgery, the patient can walk and stand.
Within a week, 3 patients, men between the ages of 29 and 41, including Michelle, were able to walk like this. Their cases detailed in a study published Monday in the journal Nature Medicine. With hours and hours of rehabilitation for 5 months, the patients were walking, riding bikes, and even boxing. The research is still early. They've tried it out on only 3 patients. They plan to test it out on 50 to 100 more to make sure it's safe and to see if it works better in some people than in others. They hope that if the device performs well in these tests, that it will be widely used in the next 3 to 4 years. But these initial steps are still monumental.
Walking is super important. Just stand up can solve a lot of kind of problem in the normal life. Just to do a simple shower with a crutches, I can stand up and do a shower. With the walker, I'm free. I can walk wherever I want. In this moment.
And that was CNN's Elizabeth Cohen reporting.
I mean, imagine where we're going to be in another 5 to 10 years with that kind of technology.
I know, it's amazing.
Right now, 9:41, about 49 degrees. You are watching GMSA at 9.
And if you're looking for the perfect Valentine's Day flowers, they might come at a cost. Details on why prices are higher this year.
Well, Steph keeps reminding us Valentine's Day is almost here. If you're planning to show your affection with a big bouquet of red roses, expect to pay more.
Yeah, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz says the pandemic is behind flower inflation, too.
Business is blooming at neighborhood flower shops. But with Cupid's big day looming, a word to all you Romeos with your heart set on romantic red roses.
There are going to be plenty of flowers available. There is a shortage of roses.
Florist Jack Cross says there are roses available, just fewer than years past. It's a global shortage rooted in the pandemic, untended crops, labor shortages, and transportation delays. And now that demand is high, so are prices.
We're seeing a much larger increase on the wholesale cost that we have to pay for roses than I have ever seen in the 35 years I've been doing this.
He'll absorb most of the increase, but says customers can expect to pay $10 to $15 more than last year.
There's another shortage that's a thorn in the side of florists: glass. It's making it tricky to find the glass vases for the arrangements.
Hard goods, I would say that was what we were more short on, because you're having to pay so much in shipping too.
Florist Gina Clark says their vase costs have doubled when they could get them. They too will absorb most of the increases. Valentine's Day, a big deal for florists, is a challenge this year, so it couldn't hurt to show them some love too.
I say what helps florists is people ordering in advance.
And being open-minded to something different, because pink is pretty romantic too. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And heck, I'll give them a free plug. HEB is so good at offering a variety of other options besides roses. I mean, you have really limitless opportunities there. It's just a matter of getting them while the supply is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, usually, well, I mean, I don't want to encourage it, but usually even for last minute stuff, they're pretty good about having things.
You're so understanding about last minute stuff, Steph.
Not that I shop last minute or anything. Yes.
All right, Justin's here now. We're going to drag him into this too. And of course, we are planning to show little signs of our affection going into Monday.
Yes.
Monday.
I was taking
we have
notes.
all weekend.
Yeah.
I was taking more notes. I've been taking copious notes this week.
That's good. And if you didn't, she would remind you anyway.
Yes.
That's the great thing about it.
I'm on top of it, yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to quiz you this morning because it's fun. I showed this.
We love trivia.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
You do?
Yes.
I showed this on KSAT News Now. Because it's Super Bowl week, I want to bring it back. I want to see if you guys know the answer to this.
Okay.
Okay, what was the coldest outdoor Super Bowl ever played? Outdoor is the, obviously, dome things constantly.
All right, so I'm wondering if this is a trick question.
Well, it's not on there, right?
It is.
It is on there?
These are all places where Super Bowls have been played. East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yeah.
I've got a hunch.
I think C.
I'm going to say A.
I would say C because it's wild.
Well, A would be a good guess.
Yeah.
C, did you cheat, Steph?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah!
Well, you're right. New Orleans. It was Super Bowl 6 there at Tulane Stadium. Played January 16th, 1972. The kickoff temperature was 39, unusually cold in New Orleans. The Cowboys beat the Dolphins, by the way, 24-3.
Wow. If you would have asked me without the multiple choice, I would not have guessed.
Okay.
I need multiple choice.
And thank you for converting the Roman numerals for us.
Yeah, anytime.
Super Bowl VI.
You're welcome. 31 degrees this morning here in San Antonio, 27 Bernie Stage, 23 in Kerrville. It was a cold morning. We did get down to freezing here in town. Most places. Stinson did not. Pleasanton got down to 30, 31 in New Braunfels. It was 23 in Kerrville. Cold morning. Yes, a lot of places did get down to freezing, but we are rebounding very nicely now. Temperatures 43 at the airport. West-northwesterly winds at about 5 miles per hour. And I'm guessing next time we get our hourly temperature in, it's going to be close to 50 degrees. 38 in Comfort, 39 Kerrville, 52 already in Divine, 50 in Pleasanton, 41 Del Rio, 48 right now in Carrizo Springs. There is a little bit of a wind chill too. There's not a lot of wind, but there's enough there to make it feel pretty chilly out there. 40 is what it feels like here in town right now. Dew points, as you might imagine, are really low. That's why we're seeing these big swings in temperature. And we'll continue to see that. The dew point stays pretty dry now. It does try to climb a little bit as we get into Friday before another front comes through. And there is a small window there where we could get just enough moisture maybe for a shower, 1 or 2 showers on Saturday. I'm not too optimistic about it. Forecast for today takes us up to about 68, sunny skies all day long. Southwesterly winds will kick in later today, 5 to 10. Here's the big picture across the country, and I think of note here, there's just not a lot going on. February can be a pretty active month, but we're just not seeing much here. There's some showers down in Florida, and that really is kind of the main issue across the country, with some rain from Jacksonville to Orlando. But as you go back out west, there's just nothing there, nothing downstream that's going to give us really any good chance for rain that we're seeing right now. So here's the 7-day forecast. 70 on Wednesday, 70 Thursday, 72 Friday, and sunny. That front, maybe a 20% chance of a shower on Saturday. Will be breezy. Super Bowl Sunday, 60 degrees. And by the way, it's going to be warm there in LA for the Super Bowl. And then Valentine's Day, 66, and sunny should be great for Valentine's Day as well. We'll be right back.
Good morning, guys. Live with Kelly and Ryan is coming up. We've got Wendy McClendon-Covey joining us to talk about Season 9 of The Goldbergs. We'll see you soon on Live.
You guys remember yesterday we were talking about DeJounte Murray and the fact that he so far had been stiffed from the NBA All-Star weekend. The guy's having an All-Star year. Yep. And we said that, there's still a chance that somebody's going to drop out, somebody's going to get hurt. It happened. Yeah. So good for DeJounte Murray. He is now an NBA All-Star. He got the spot vacated by Draymond Green. DJ, listen to these numbers. 19.6 points a game, 8.4 rebounds, and 9.2 assists. This guy's almost averaging a triple-double a game. Sixth year, remember he lost a year to injury. 10 triple-doubles this season alone, 15 for his career. The All-Star game will be played in Cleveland on Sunday, February 20th. The Spurs have 5 games before them, so he can improve his numbers a little bit. But congratulations to DJ. He has deserved it. And so there's a little shining light in such a dark season for the Spurs.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yep. Congratulations.
This is the first game of their road trip tomorrow night, 6 o'clock in Cleveland. So he'll go to Cleveland, and then he gets to go back to Cleveland for the All-Star game. So there you go. How do you beat Cleveland two times in, what, a week?
Nobody has an answer for you. We'll just see what happens. David, thank you. Quick check of TransGuide, folks, and we're still in the clearing stages here. That big accident, 37 to westbound 10, just southeast of downtown, involving a cattle trailer. This has been there all night and all morning long, and we don't know when it's going to be cleaned up, but we know they are making very slow progress. Justin.
And we now are at 53 degrees. So temperatures jumping up very quickly. Beautiful day today, 68 degrees and sunny. Beautiful all week. 72 by Friday, maybe a little bit of a cool down this weekend with a small chance of rain.
Valentine's Day almost here on KSAT.com. We have an article featuring some of the cool Valentine's Day specials at San Antonio area restaurants and businesses.
Yeah, if food is the way to their heart, then go ahead and check this out on our website. So at the top of the list, we have Ambler at Hotel Contessa. They have a special there. And also Bakery Lorraine offering something as well.
Yeah, there's specials kind of all over the place. Like Dunkin', for example, Friday through Sunday, customers can get 3 times the points on all their donut hole treats. Evo Entertainment up there on 35 in Shirts will offer a free 30-minute game card with the purchase of a bowling lane reservation on Sunday. Well, it says Sunday, February 14th. Monday is the 14th.
Yes, don't forget.
Okay.
Don't forget.
You figure it out.
Also, San Antonio Zoo, they also had that Wild at Heart dining experience, which might be kind of fun. Looks like they'll have brunch on the day before Valentine's Day.
Most restaurants have prefix menus, so limited options, and you get kind of a 2-for-1 deal. So good luck with those reservations.
Yeah, good luck.